Chinese OEMs, though, are repurposing the RTX 30 mobility GPUs as desktop-grade mining cards to tackle the LHR crackdown. Chinese and South Pacific PC OEMs have started to repurpose NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 30 mobility GPUs into mining-ready desktop graphics cards. This move has been down not only to bypass the LHR restrictions, which are kind of a moot point at this point, except for 3.0 on the 3050 and the 3080 12 gigabyte. So seems like this was definitely something that was probably being worked on, probably has already been implemented and deployed in other countries like China, for example, that is now just starting to hit the news cycle. That's the best I can tell. Pictures and retail listings of several repurposed graphics cards were posted by iLeakVN. Asian OEMs are repurposing several of the mobility GPUs, primarily the RTX 3070M and the 3060M, to meet the demand of the crypto mining segment, which is waning with, of course, the threat of the merge and the dip in the altcoin prices right now. Once again, like I said, it seems to be kind of a later news cycle. This was something that maybe would be obviously a lot more beneficial earlier on. Although the demand has died down quite significantly, there are still some people who are investing in the ecosystem and expanding their existing setups. And that's fair enough. We did do some votes. Most people are in pause mode right now from our last polls that we've done. When I asked, are you upgrading your mining equipment? Most people were saying they're on pause until the prices come down on the GPUs. Some people did say they were quitting altogether. Very few people, less than 10%, said they were currently actively purchasing new equipment to mine with. What's happening here is simply the case of taking an NVIDIA mobility GPU and putting it on a desktop grade PCB with a desktop grade cooler. The mobility GPUs feature the same die, so compatibility of existing PCBs will not be that hard to achieve. However, they do come with vastly different core specs, which are inferior to the actual desktop offerings. Just for comparison, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 graphics card is based on the GA104 GPU with 5,888 cores, 8 gigabytes of memory, a 256-bit bus, and a 220-watt TDP. The RTX 3070M for mobility platforms features the same GA104 GPU, but comes with fewer cores and a 115-watt TDP. That's pretty impressive and would be a nice conversion to a mining GPU. The RTX 3060M and 3060 are a different story, as the mobile variant comes with a higher spec GA106 GPU core with 3,840 cores, but a lower 6 gigabytes of VRAM at 80 watts, while the desktop variant comes with the same GA106 GPU, but with fewer 3,584 cores and a higher 12 gigabyte memory capacity at 170 watts. As for the mining performance, the RTX 3070M graphics card offers around 65 megahash a second of crypto mining performance in Ethereum. That's impressive. This should net you around 120 to 130 a day in earnings. I do not think that's accurate right now, but we'll check in a second. Also, since these cards aren't based on the LHR design, the recent driver level crackdown by NVIDIA won't affect them. It wouldn't affect them anyways, I don't think, because it would probably be 2.0 and not 3.0 LHR. The GeForce 512.95 WHQL driver actually enforces a half hash rate on the LHR cards, and although it can be reverted by rolling back to previous drivers, it is still going to be a bit of a frustration for miners. Not really, because for the most part, we're all utilizing Linux and we aren't updating drivers, right? So I suppose what I'm understanding here is that NVIDIA, and let's go ahead and pull this up. I did not know this was happening. I guess we're just finding that. Yeah, so the RTX Empire Strikes Back, another topic to talk about. NVIDIA is taking a stand against a 100% LHR unlock. Woo, that's a big topic. So let's go ahead and finish this one up though. So here's the 3070Ms. They're starting to get listed. I think really honestly that 3070M is sounding really enticing because 65 megahash a second on 115 watt TDP means, like, frankly, you're probably sub 100 watts for 65 megahash a second, and that is super duper good. The GeForce RTX 30 mobility lineup not having any LHR SKU does save them from this. The new drivers also enforce LHR so that even the mining apps that is offering 100% LHR unlocks cannot offer the full hash rate. Now, one thing about these cards is that they will have some resale value compared to traditional headless mining cards since they come with display outputs. Users who just want to play games after they're done with mining can do so, but such cards will flood the used market once their mining life is complete, which means no one will know how much these cards have been abused by the crypto businesses. Once again, for the most part, we take care of our graphics cards pretty dang well. That being said, I think having display outputs is awesome, and that's a welcome change to kind of the crypto mining specific GPUs or developed GPUs. In the past, when we get those, we typically don't get some sort of video output. That makes resaleability hard. Even how low of the resaleability you're going to get for it, at least something's better than nothing. I think right now we're going to see lots of liquidations, of course, though, and looking for some of those crypto mining specific cards isn't a bad idea if you're wanting to expand your farm, at least in my humble opinion, during the bear market, because they will be at the lowest price point. Should we be talking about P106s and stuff though? Probably not. The ones I'll be looking for would be the newer CMP line, specifically like the 175 or the 170HX, etc. All right, so Chinese retailer outlets such as Taobao, I don't know, I botched that one, have listed a large number of these graphics cards, and we would ask our readers to avoid buying these cards as there's no guarantee of how much these are used already. I'm in. Send them my way if they're cheap enough. I don't know. Plus, pulling the GeForce RTX 30 mobility supply away from laptops to crypto cards means that we are going to see DGPU powered laptop prices shoot up. I don't know that I think that's the case. The good thing is that the whole crypto system within the DIY segment has slowed down tremendously, so we are sure that these cards aren't something new that's happening now, but have been going on for a while, and now prices have really come down due to poor demand for such hardware. And I don't think that's for the DIY segment of the crypto miners. I think that these cards were specifically going to the large mining firms, which means that basically the large mining firms aren't purchasing as much anymore, so they are trying to sell them to the DIY segment, hence their listing. Now, we've talked about this before, and during a big downturn, the greatest opportunities will be exposed. And as a, I guess, DIY mining segment, as this channel, I guess, will now be branded, I suppose, that's going to be the new term to coin. As the DIY mining segment, we should be paying attention to taking advantage of a downturn in the market, because it will be the only time to catch up with the large firms. Now, whether that is moving into ASICs for Bitcoin or sticking with GPU mining will be, I think, the biggest debate to have that we need to discuss. And we will actually discuss that a little bit here in a second, because obviously, if you take a look at the markets today, Bitcoin's holding, everything else is not. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.